Today I can also confirm that I've also spoken with the Deputy Premier and the Chief Health Officer, and Queensland will now be declaring Greater Sydney a COVID-19 hotspot. There has been more outbreaks in other parts of Greater Sydney, and that will now become a COVID-declared hotspot, taking effect from 1 a.m. on Saturday morning. We have done this to ensure that we give notice to Queenslanders that may want to return home. And I also want to say now that it is going to cause an inconvenience to families, and I know there may be a lot of events that are planned over the next few days, few weeks, but it is too important. We must protect Queenslanders. So your safety comes first, and we are in extraordinary times at the moment, and we have to do everything we can. So that will take effect 1 a.m. Saturday morning. So as I said yesterday, Queenslanders should not be travelling to Sydney. The Greater Sydney area will encompass 34 local government areas. So that will be 31 new areas plus the 3 existing areas. So we have to act swiftly here, and that is exactly what my government is doing. Are there any questions on those matters, and then we can move on to Bundaberg issues?
What will it take to reclose Queensland borders, and how much of New South Wales has declared hotspot for this to happen?
Okay, so we have a hard border closure with Victoria. And what is extremely disappointing is that these 2 people went to Victoria. That's what they did. And now we have to act swiftly and quickly. Let me assure Queenslanders that we have been preparing for these scenarios. We have done this before, and we will do it again. But because of the negligent actions of these 2, we now have to do a lot of contact tracing, and it is going to be an inconvenience to many people. But it has to be done, and we will do that. As I said, we are monitoring the situation in New South Wales every single day. I want to assure Queenslanders. Now, we have been taking the Chief Health Officer's advice every step of the way during this pandemic, and it has stood Queensland in very good stead, and we will continue to do that. So when the Chief Health Officer advises the Queensland Government, advises myself to close the border, we will close the border. So we will be monitoring very carefully, and the signs that we would be looking for is further outbreaks of community transmission in areas outside of Greater Sydney.
What would the border closures mean for tourism and business?
This is going to have an impact on some of our tourism industry. So we will be speaking with our tourism leaders, but as we know, Queenslanders' health comes first. We must protect Queenslanders' health. And what I'm seeing at the moment, and I've been seeing this as I've travelled across the length and breadth of this state, is that Queenslanders are out there supporting Queenslanders, and Queenslanders like their lifestyle, and because of our health response, it has meant that Queenslanders can go about basically their normal lives. They can go to work, they can go to cafes, they can go to restaurants, and they can go to holidays. But we do not want a second wave here. We do not want widespread community transmission. So let me say the next 24 to 48 hours is very crucial here in Queensland, and that is because we need to be making sure that any of those people who may have come into contact with the 2 confirmed cases need to go into quarantine and also need to be tested.